Alright boys, welcome back. Today we have a little announcement to start off today's video and to set the tone for today and the future. So in about 8 weeks from now, I am signed up for a powerlifting competition. I am going to be competing under 93 kilos in junior in about 8 weeks from now. And hopefully I will do quite well. Obviously, I've been powerlifting properly. Don't know if the right term is properly. I've been powerlifting solely, or mainly. Gosh, my vocabulary is pretty poor right now. My main focus has been powerlifting for probably about 7 months now. And since then, we have got pretty strong. I can now squat over 200 kilos, bench nearly 170 kilos, and deadlift a measly 222. Those are all gym lifts, like no comp standard in them at all. But my aim, at least, so when you sign up, first time ever sign up for a powerlifting competition, spookiest thing I've done in ages. You have a whole entire sheet you have to fill out saying, what do you reckon you're going to get? And there's me like, I don't know, maybe I could squat 200 kilos in a comp, bench 150, deadlift 220. So I put that puts it to a 570 kilo total. Now, it then goes on to say, what is your best total? Squat, bench, deadlift. And obviously I put in my best total, which is higher than what I was put as my guess for what I'll get in the comp. Put in my squat, bench and deadlift, and then make sure to put next to them all that they are gym PRs. And then it then asks, is this your first competition? And I was like, yes, this is my first competition. So hopefully it goes well, because it is quite a while away and I've got a bit of time to prepare. But basically, the plan is for today is to set a benchmark. Because we've got 8 weeks, I feel it's enough time to max out now, and I will definitely be recovered by the competition. I have a powerlifting plan from when I started powerlifting, but I am not sure if I should look at getting a new one or a different one, because that one is very, very bench focused. And obviously I'm good at benching. I need one which will focus a lot on the deadlift, because my deadlift is terrible compared to everything else. We have got to also lose a little bit of weight from what I'm currently at, because this morning I weighed in at 93.5. Now it could just be fluctuating body weight due to water and whatnot, so it's probably not going to be too hard. We're basically just going to try and maintain our weight at the moment. I might go on a slight cut for this month, very, very minor one. Maybe get down to like 92, 91, and then push it back up towards 93 for the comp. I have no clue what I'm doing. Just so you know, boys, I lift solely for fun. This is the first thing I'm actually doing. So it is very alien to me, this whole entire thing. And I don't think it's going to sink in until very close to the date. Now, it was quite expensive to sign up for the competition. It was £25 for my membership and then £50 for the actual competition. But I've also got to get like a singlet, a top, basically all the equipment that's required. I've obviously got a belt, shoes, sleeves and wrist wraps already. So they're things that I do not have to buy again, but the rest of it, I'm going to have to splash some cash on. But we're going to crack on. I've had a scoop of pre-workout and we're going to have a monster, but we've also got a Lucozade for glucose so I do not cramp. The plan is today, don't know if I always said this, but benchmarking, so we're not going to get injured is the plan. My aim is to kind of do a mix of comp and non-comp form, because bench wise, if I'm feeling really good, I might just go for a gym PR, or I might just go heavy for gym wise. I know I can do 150 very easily comp form, so we are not too worried about the bench at the moment. The other two lifts is where I need to focus. So yeah, boys, we'll catch you inside of the gym for the first day of preparing for my powerlifting competition. But yeah, I'll see you boys in there.
To a new
Alright boys and girls, pretty successful squats there. I did 200 kilos and then I was going to try 205, but I like completely psyched myself up to do it, went to unrack it, and like I just walked into the rack basically. So yeah, I did not have the energy or patience to retry it again, but it felt very light on my back. So we're going to put a benchmark down at 205. That is where we are starting at, 205, and as you saw, the 200 moved very lightly, so I'm going to have to say that is probably most definitely there. Everything's feeling fine today, which is brilliant. Bicep, tiny little bit of pain, but we will find out on bench whether it gets triggered or not, because that is where it is the worst. It's boiling hot here, and we have had probably way too much caffeine for the time of night. It is 10 to 9, but yeah, session's going well. Yeah, we're on to bench. Aim is 160 paused, and maybe something heavier non-paused, but we will find out very soon. Alright boys, bench done. We did 160, not completely properly, but this lovely man came over and had a really long conversation with me, and it was probably a little bit too early to spot on it, but we moved. 160, we're going to set that as the benchmark, because I reckon I have got that on a good way, on a good day. Obviously, we're now on to deadlifts, which is my weakest lift, not weight-wise, but comparatively. We're going to try and go for a PR today, which will be 225 or higher, but we will find out shortly. Bench is probably my favourite lift, but it's not feeling perfect at the moment because of my current injury, but we're going to try and work through it, because obviously we can't have an excuse on the day. So we're just going to continue on with deadlifts and go back on plan after this session. So that is the plan for the next few weeks. So yeah, stay tuned boys, and hope for good things.
Getting stronger every day. Keep on pushing through the pain. Keep on grinding till we die. Ain't no mercy in this life. There's nowhere left to run away. No, there's nowhere left to run away, run away, run away, run away,
Alright boys, we are finished now. Deadlifts, perfect. New PR of 225 kilos. Man, it's been so long since I've hit a deadlift PR. I am like over the moon with it. We did some accessory work at the end. I did some pull-ups and some back extensions, so we might be feeling it tomorrow. Session, other than that, was pretty good. We've got a very good baseline now, and hopefully by the competition we are a bit stronger than this. We've got a 205 squat, a 160 bench, and a 225 deadlift, which puts my total at, let me do some quick maths, 420, 430, 580. 580 is a pretty good total. Let's try get that to 600. That is my plan. 600 would be, so either A, I'm gonna have to be even better in the competition than I am today, or B, my training is gonna have to add 20 kilos in 8 weeks, which I think is doable, because deadlift wise, I think we should be deadlifting at least 250, which would get us there just as that. But obviously we don't know how it will go. Squats, I reckon 210 is attainable. Bench wise, I reckon 165, or completely depends, because now my bench is probably the only one which I can say is far off competition form, because I've got a really bad form from how I've lifted previously. Obviously, because I haven't wanted to compete yet, I've just been lifting for fun of it and just going as heavy as possible. And obviously when you go heavy on bench and you're not really in the competition zone, you just kind of like have slight ass lift, you don't pause it type of thing. So I've got to really lock in on that, because I can't get to the competition day, put on heavy weight and get really psyched out and just bounce it, because that's not how it works. So we're gonna have to do a lot of training for that. I have contacted a few coaches to see if someone wants to take me on. However, I am not financially like wealthy. I have a student, and paying £75 to enter this competition was a lot of money for me. So most of these coaches are like ridiculous amounts per month. And so we've got to find someone who is good and cheap, because I do not have money. Other than that, boys, wish me luck, because we've got a long road ahead of me. I've got exams until the end of May, which is another 19 days. Actually, it's technically 20 days, but I don't have exams at the end of the month. And then I'm going to Paris in early June. So we're going to either have to A, find a gym over there, or B, have a deload week and maybe lose a lot of progress. But we'll find out. We need to go on a slight maintain or cut. We're going to just go on about 3k calories and 150 to 200 grams of protein a day is the plan, and see where we end up by the end of the month. We've got exams, so I might be really stressed and really poor at lifting this month, but next month we will lock in. But boys, hold me accountable. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you boys next time. Peace out.